This is Meteo Mundo.
Hi everyone, Rusty back here with the latest Meteo Mundo forecast on this Wednesday, November the 22nd. I hope you are having a nice start to your Wednesday. Coming up, we'll take a look at if that disturbance in the Caribbean is still ramping up or if it's just fizzled out, the rain chances across the area, and if some of the areas that have been flooded lately have the possibility for more heavy rain over the next 5 days. So as we get into the video, thank you so much for liking and subscribing. Let's talk about what's happening in the Caribbean right now. So let's zoom in on that. And again, we had a disturbance highlighted by the Hurricane Center in yellow. If you notice now, there is no area of interest. This disturbance never got going. It's still going to be a broad area of disorganized showers and storms that could bring at least pockets of heavier rain to the Western Caribbean and Central America over the next several days, really over the next 3 to 5 days. But that being said, it's not going to develop into anything tropical. It's not going to be a depression, not going to be a storm, and it's really fighting a lot of dry air. You can see that in the water vapor imagery here. So even the chance for heavier rain for places like Jamaica and the Cayman Islands and the Yucatan and the Caribbean coastline of Central America looks to be very low. I'm not concerned right now about widespread heavier rain that could lead to flooding issues. This is going to be a better opportunity for some rain later in the week and into the weekend, but nothing that I think is going to be extremely heavy. Again, red on this map is dry air, and it basically encompasses this broad area of showers and storms, and it's really eating apart a lot of it here. It's just never going to be a large area, and it's never going to have an abundant amount of moisture to produce some of that heavier rain. We can see what it looks like on the current satellite imagery, the visible satellite imagery. I love showing you this when I can as we record in the daylight hours here. And again, it's just a gorgeous presentation. You can see some of those brighter white cloud tops. Those are your thunderstorms embedded within this. But again, nothing is going to be spinning up in this. And, you know, overall, some fair weather clouds. We are going to get more moisture coming back into Puerto Rico. It's been relatively dry today so far, but rain chances will be ramping up over the afternoon hours. Same thing for the northern Leeward Islands. And I expect a couple of showers for the ABC Islands as well. Again, we'll take a look at the entire forecast across the Caribbean and the Bahamas coming up. So let's start off right now with the rain across the Caribbean over the next 5 days, and we'll loop this into motion. And again, when you see the Western Caribbean, you're going to see nothing concentrated out of this, okay? We'll get some moisture to push into the coastline of Central America beginning on Friday and especially Saturday and Sunday, but even rain chances on a daily basis aren't going to be extremely high. And again, I'm not concerned right now about any rain that would produce any flooding, but you can just see here. So again, today's the 22nd. So as we get into our Saturday and Sunday, the 25th and 26th, the opportunity for a little bit more moisture just to be moving in to places like coastal Panama, just to the north of Panama City, and Costa Rica, San Jose, the coastal areas of both Nicaragua and Honduras. Spotty rain there. And then you get as far north as like Roatan and San Pedro Sula and even Belize City, and the moisture there is actually lower. You are more encompassed in drier air there. So it's the same scenario where, again, there's just not a lot of moisture to play with. So there's not going to be a ton of heavier rain, although your rain chances will be slightly going up over the weekend. So just expect a little bit more in the way of a few showers there. Back over to my friends in Jamaica. Again, you're entrenched right now in that drier air. So when I loop this over the next 5 days, yeah, the moisture content will come up a little bit, but is it going to promote widespread heavier rain? I don't think so. So for Kingston and Mandeville and Montego Bay and Negril and Maypen and Port Antonio, Spanish Town and Portmore, not a bad forecast. Overall, over the next 5 days, many dry hours and locations, a little bit better chance for some rain in the afternoon hours of your Friday and maybe into Saturday. But again, overall, just not a lot of rain. Same thing for the Cayman Islands as well. Now, we desperately need to keep Santo Domingo, the Dominican Republic, Hispaniola as a whole dry. The good news is, relatively speaking, we're going to. There's a low-end chance for a couple of showers later this afternoon, tomorrow, and Friday, but the chance is 20 to at best 30%. I don't see any widespread heavier rain. And again, the water levels are still very high in portions of the Dominican Republic from the flooding on Saturday, so they just don't need to add any extra to the water table. Let that water slowly recede And overall, I think Mother Nature is going to cooperate and not bring them a lot of heavier rain anytime soon. Now, over the next couple of days, especially today for Puerto Rico, we will get more widespread rain. Again, it's not going to be abundantly heavy, but that opportunity will be there. And it's the same thing for the northern side of the Leeward Islands as well. Anguilla, St. Kitts and Nevis, Antigua and Barbuda, St. Bartholomew, St. Martin, maybe as far south as Guadeloupe, Montserrat, could see some pockets of heavier rain. Your rain chances are slightly higher overall than most of the rest of the islands. As you get south from Dominica towards St. Lucia and Guadeloupe, Martinique, and then south towards Barbados and Grenada, 20 to a 30% chance over the next couple of days. It might ramp up a little bit more coastal to Tobago and Trinidad, a little bit more moisture coming off the mainland there. But again, 20 to a 30% chance. There's not going to be anything too concentrated. I'll show you where that flare up of showers was for Trinidad. You can see on the model there, as we get into Saturday, a little bit better chance for some rain, Trinidad, maybe Tobago. But the next couple of days, Thursday, Friday, 20 to a 30% chance at best. Now, again, because this broad area of showers and storms is moving west, it's going to begin to bring the drier air and pull it in behind it for the ABC Islands. So there's just not going to be a lot of rain for Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao over the next several days as well. I want to talk about, I'll show you the rainfall potential over the next 5 days coming up, but I do want to go to the Bahamas real quickly here because it's a little bit different scenario for my friends in the Bahamas. I'm going to put on the visible satellite imagery. We got ourselves a good old-fashioned late November cold front coming in, friends. Take a look at what's happening in northern Florida right now. That's where the front is on this Wednesday afternoon. You can see the streaks of clouds behind it in South Georgia. This front is going to be coming in. It's going to freshen up the winds. It's going to bring us some quick wind-driven showers tomorrow and Friday. But it's also going to bring us some slightly cooler and drier air. Now, this front is not going to make it all the way through the Bahamas, but for our friends in the Northwest Bahamas, like Grand Bahama and New Providence and Eleuthera and Abaco and Andros and Walker's Key and the Bimini area, all of you guys will be getting winds out of the northwest starting late on your Thanksgiving, and that's going to usher in some cooler and drier air. Should be very pleasant for the weekend ahead. Let's look at the rain chances here across the Bahamas. I'm going to throw on, our high-resolution HER model, put this into motion over the next couple of days. So again, here we're going to be dry on this Wednesday. We're going to get spotty rain coming in on Thanksgiving Thursday, and then behind that rain, winds turn out of the northwest. Still might be a few showers on Friday for at least some areas here. You can see this on Future Track. We'll kind of just time step it. So again, as we get into tomorrow afternoon, here comes some of that spottier rain. Tomorrow morning, here comes some of that spottier rain through the afternoon hours. It's not a big chance, 20, 30% chance in most areas. And then as we get into our Friday morning, that rain drifts off towards the south, but begins to break apart because the air to the south and the central and the southeast Bahamas is fairly dry once again. So the front has a little bit of push in it. Again, it's still late November. It's not like it's a January front as of yet, but there will be some changes. Now, going back over to the GFS model here, I just want to show you what the winds are going to be like. If I switch over to the mid-level winds and then I go out to, let's say, Friday morning, you can start to see the mid-level winds pull in. Now, these are going to be north winds that eventually here, if I go out about another 24 hours or so, are going to be able to work its way into the northwest Bahamas. Now, again, this northwest push of cooler, drier air won't get through the entire Bahamas, but for the northwest Bahamas, we will swing a northwest wind. It'll be breezy, but again, that will usher in some of that cooler and drier air. So kind of a, interesting forecast there. Okay, let's get back out to the broad perspective here and take a look at the total rain that I expect across the entire area here over the next 5 days. So I'm going to switch over to the total precipitation product. And while I'm doing that, thank you so much again for liking and subscribing. If you haven't done so, again, you want the latest information here across the Caribbean and the Bahamas, just make sure you click that notification bell as well. All right, so I'm going to take it out. We'll go a full 5 days. And again, this is going to be what rain could fall in your area as a 5-day total. Now, the first thing you're going to notice is there's not many areas with extremely high rainfall totals. As I have mentioned, right along the Caribbean coastline of Nicaragua and Honduras, I expect the best chance for heavier rain. And right along the coast, our model is picking up a couple to a few inches of rain. Some of that might fall literally right along the coastline because, again, as you get inland towards Managua, look at that rain really drop off very, very quickly. Not going to be a lot of rain more than 25 miles from the coast. Now, it's a little bit more concentrated down into Costa Rica and Panama, where, again, obviously thinner landmass there. So a little bit better opportunity for San Jose to at least get an inch of rain. But again, widespread, heavier flooding? No. Panama City, again, we bullseyed a little bit more there. Farther south in general, better chance for a little bit heavier rain, but this is a 5-day total. And when you're looking at 2 to 3 inches of rain and none of it really falling in a quick, short order, again, not concerned about the flood threat. I have zoomed out significantly, so I will zoom back in and you just get the idea here as I swing back over to the Yucatan and we'll go back down from there. Again, spotty rain for Cancun and Cozumel. Belize City, I mentioned your rain coming up a little bit, maybe a ½ inch. But again, nothing significant there. So we're looking good. Same thing for Kingston and the rest of Jamaica. Again, a ¼ inch of rain, so spotty showers, but nothing significant. For the Dominican Republic, again, we got to keep the heavier rain away, about a ½ inch over the next 5 days. Don't see any higher than that on the model. That's good news, a little bit higher towards the Turks and Caicos. But again, if we can get just a ½ inch of rain there, I think we're going to be just fine. Now for, again, Puerto Rico, the eastern side, San Jose, towards Fajardo and Culebra and Esperanza, the islands just off the coast, maybe a little bit higher rain there. Same thing for St. John and St. Croix and St. Thomas towards Roadtown there and the British Virgin Islands, maybe an inch of rain or higher. And I mentioned a little bit more opportunity for some these spotty heavier rain to the northern side of the Leeward Islands, but Anguilla and Barbuda, again, ½ inch to an inch of rain at best. The rest of the island chain, you just see there in blue. See that? Not a lot of rain for the rest of the island chain until you get down towards Trinidad. And I mentioned this again, more moisture coming out of the south is going to kind of highlight and focus Trinidad compared to the other islands where they could get a few inches of rain. And I have a feeling that most of our friends in Trinidad and Tobago will welcome this rain from some of the comments you guys have dropped below, but let me know. Drop in the comment section whether you're okay with this drier forecast in most of the areas or whether you want to see some more rain like they're going to get there in Trinidad and Tobago. For the ABC Islands, as I mentioned, not a lot. Again, spotty rain, but not a lot of rain there. And we'll zoom out and go into the Bahamas. And again, even with the rain coming in with that front, we've got potentially about an inch, a ½ inch of rain for Freeport and Lucaya and High Rock and West End there for Walker's Key as well. But again, not a lot of rain and even spottier the farther south that you go. We're not really painting on a line of rain for Nassau. Nice little moisture axis here for the south, central, and southeast Bahamas. Most of that is offshore. Again, relatively speaking, we've got narrow land masses here. So the model is showing a little bit of heavier rain just west of the islands, but could some of that drift off in? Absolutely possible. So we'll be monitoring that as well. Okay, so that's what the rain totals look like over the next 5 days. Let's take a look at the rain chance in your area here. I picked out a few spots for our Thursday and our Friday. Trinidad and Tobago, 30% chance Thursday, down to a 20% chance on Friday. But again, as I mentioned it, your best rain chances come over the weekend, Saturday and into Sunday. That's when we see the elevated rain there. Antigua and Barbuda, a decent chance for showers, 40% chance for the next couple of days, nothing extremely heavy, but just a better opportunity to pick up some mainly afternoon showers. Again, the Dominican Republic, an area we need to stay dry. Thankfully, not a big chance, 20% chance tomorrow, 30% chance on Friday, and then very low chances for rain overall for places like Jamaica, the ABC Islands, and Belize City. Again, Belize City, you would pick up a better chance for some rain starting on Saturday. A couple of 5-day forecasts for you, my friends in Grand Bahama. Again, dry today. We'll pick up spotty showers coming in on Thursday, Thanksgiving with the front coming in. Still a few showers on Friday, but cooler with the winds turning out of the northwest. And then should be a gorgeous weekend ahead. Take a look at the daytime highs tomorrow and Friday. They're going to be in the upper 70s, but the other big story is the humidity. Going to be cranked down a lot as well with the northwest winds. San Juan, good chance for showers the remainder of today. Again, could be some spotty or heavy rain, but no flood threat. 30% chance for showers on Thursday, and then drying out and looking very beautiful Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with daytime highs that will remain in the lower 80s. One more note, and I mean one more note. Again, we have this area in the central Atlantic that could still wrap up into a subtropical storm, but it is in the open waters. It's not going to impact anyone, but I did just want to highlight that. And otherwise, again, this broad area of showers and storms will bring a few areas of rain to Central America later, and then we'll see other portions with some heavier showers. And here comes our front for the Bahamas as well. All right, friends, that's the latest. Thank you so much for tuning in here to Meteo Mundo. Thank you for liking. And if you want the newest forecast across the Caribbean and the Bahamas, hit that subscribe button right now. I'll see you shortly right here at Meteo Mundo.